then this is going to be really easy. It's you, your two brothers. You've just got to cut checks and it's done. She's like, oh, that's so great. That's so wonderful. What about these 3 stock accounts that Dad had online? Those are only like about collectively $12,000, but those are in his name. That's no big deal, right? Trust funding fails, the essentials of funding your revocable living trust, and what happens if you don't. Well, I can tell you that there have been a few instances during my career where a trust is perfectly funded. And it is actually kind of difficult for a trust to be perfectly funded because there always tends to be something that's actually outside your control. So this instance, it was a gentleman. He got his trust set up in California. He knew he was dying. He got the bad diagnosis. He battled it. He wasn't winning. Okay. Sold all the real estate, sold all his stocks, put everything into a savings account in the name of the trust, and then moved to Greensboro to live with his daughter for his remaining time. And I think at that point, he only, quote, had 4 months to live, but I think he lived like a year and a half. So, he enjoyed the time that he had left with his daughter. But once he passed on, the daughter contacted us for help in settling the trust. All right. So I managed to stop by and see her on the way to Asheville, office appointments, and started running through the checklist of things to take a look for. So there's no accounts in his name. No, there's just that one savings account in the name of the trust. Okay. No pieces of property. Nope. He liquidated everything. Any vehicles in his name? No. Any checks come in his name? Nope, nothing like that. There was some reimbursement checks, but he made sure they were all going to go into the trust. So those have already been deposited into that savings account. It's done. Okay, and then I was making a joke. Did he have any clothing? Clothing and furniture and all that stuff would have been part of the trust anyway with the way it was set up. And she said no. I was like, all right, wait a minute. No clothing? And she said, look, hand to God. He was in hospice. The week before he died, he told me to take out a suit to bury him in and donate everything else to Goodwill. And that's what I did. So he didn't have anything other than this bank account. And I said, all right, then this is going to be really easy. It's you, your two brothers. You've just got to cut checks and it's done. She's like, oh, that's so great. That's so wonderful. What about these 3 stock accounts that Dad had online? Those are only like about collectively $12,000, but those are in his name. That's no big deal, right? Oh my God. It did end up being a big deal because they were in online stock accounts in his name. And this was kind of around the 2008 crash. So the value plummeted anyway. But these stock companies were very, very difficult to deal with because, well, it wasn't a high priority because it was a lower amount. What would happen was they'd have to have letters testamentary, the permission papers from the court to take it through probate. All right, we'd send it in. Call, did you get the letters and everything? Yes. Okay, 50. It's only good for 60 days. It's got 55 days left. We kept calling every other week and then a week. It's like, okay, look, there's only 4 days left. Yep, we'll get it done. We'll get it done. Call back. Oh, I'm sorry, the letter's expired. You need to get new letters. 11 and a half months this took. One company did it to us twice, where they demanded new letters, but they gotten it well in advance of 50 days, in order to put this together, and they didn't get it done. They didn't care. So by the time all of this ended up dragging out with the huge drop in the stock market and everything else, the family got about, and of course, legal fees and other stuff, they only got about $4,500 out of it. But everything else was set up perfectly.